Although it is the world's second smallest continent, Europe welcomes more than half of all the tourists worldwide. In fact, 7 of the 10 most visited countries in the world are European nations. It's easy to see why. A well-preserved cultural heritage, rich history, safety, and efficient infrastructure makes visiting Europe a breeze. Here's a look at the best places to visit in Europe. Number 10. Vienna. Vienna as the former seat of the Habsburg Empire. Vienna is awash with impressive imperial buildings and palaces, which so comprehensively convey the wealth and power of its former monarchs. Now the capital of Austria, the city is a delight to get lost in. Nicknamed the City of Music, the names of its famous residents roll off the tongue, with Mozart, Beethoven, and Schubert among those who once graced its streets. Number 9. Stonehenge. Stonehenge. You have to marvel at the determination of prehistoric man when you look at Stonehenge. Construction started about 3000 BC on what was originally burial grounds. Huge monoliths, weighing 25 tons, were dragged 150 miles to the site a few hundred years later. It's not known exactly how many humongous rocks were moved to a field near Amesbury, but there are 13 standing today. It's also not known why Stonehenge was built, but many believe this great English landmark is associated with early astrology. Number 8. Matterhorn. Matterhorn, Egypt may have its pyramids, but Italy and Switzerland have a nature-made pyramid of their own, the Matterhorn. At 14,692 feet high, this famous mountain is one of the highest in Europe. The mountain has 4 faces, each equally rugged. The legendary mountain has been popular with climbers since the first ascent in 1865. During the summer, 150 people a day try to climb it. Couch potatoes may be just as happy to stay below and gaze in awe at the summit, playing hide and seek with the clouds. Number 7. Plitvice Lakes. The Plitvice Lakes are so pretty, officials turned them into a national park. Located in central Croatia, Plitvice Lakes consists of 16 lakes that attract more than 1 million visitors a year. The lakes are surrounded by lush forests and connected by waterfalls cascading down from one lake to another. The lakes are divided into 2 sections, lower and upper, because of the difference in elevation. The best way to see the lakes is walking. On the route, you might even see some wildlife. Number 6. Budapest. Budapest was already an established city when the Hungarians took over in the 9th century. Today, Budapest is the country's capital and largest city. In between these two events, Budapest was ruled by the Mongols and Ottomans, among others. Considered one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, Budapest is home to the Museum of Fine Arts, with its collection of more than 100,000 works. Be sure to visit the centrally located Old Town, with its many museums, churches, palaces, and parliament building. Number 5. Lisbon. The Portuguese capital of Lisbon lies on the Tagus River along the Atlantic coast. It is this location that encouraged explorers to sail far and wide around the world in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. One of the things you'll want to see is Belém Tower, a 16th century fortress on the Tagus's north bank. If you're looking for good views of old Lisbon, head to St. George Castle that was built on a hilltop by the Moors. Number 4. Gullfoss. Gullfoss, you probably don't know too many people who've been to Iceland, but it may be worth a trip there to visit the spectacular Gullfoss waterfalls. Located in southern Iceland, Gullfoss is one of Iceland's top tourist attractions. At times, it almost appears glacier-like, appropriate, perhaps, since it is fed by a glacier. The waterfalls begins just after the Ölfusá River makes a perpendicular turn and then cascades down a 3-step staircase into a canyon that is 115 feet deep. Number 3. Athens. Athens, a city that's been inhabited since the 5th century BC, gave the world the concept of democracy and is the birthplace of Western civilization. Many of the city's major landmarks can be found in the Old Town, particularly around the Acropolis. The list includes the Temple of Zeus, the Theater of Dionysus where Sophocles' works were performed, and the Parthenon, which sits atop the Acropolis. Number 2. Bay of Kotor. Bay of Kotor. When you're hungry for breathtaking scenery, feast your eyes on Kotor Bay in southwestern Montenegro. This bay off the Adriatic is just downright picturesque, hemmed in by mountains, with quaint villages sandwiched between the cliffs and the gorgeous blue water. Several well-preserved medieval towns ring the bay. People make pilgrimages here, not only to take in the scenery, but also to visit the many Orthodox and Christian churches spread among the villages. Number 1. Moscow. Moscow. For nearly 900 years, Moscow has been the capital of Russia. As such, this old city has plenty to offer visitors. Let's start with the 15th century Red Square, since many of the city's key attractions surround it. A top landmark is the Kremlin, a former fortress that houses museums and the president of the Russian Federation. Lenin's tomb sits in the middle of the square, while the iconic onion-domed St. Basil's Cathedral, now a museum, is on one side.